Good morning, everybody. Awesome to see everybody here. Pretty much on time for Miami time. Rainy traffic day. Not terrible. Proud of everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause for that. Good job. Good job. Couple of announcements. The first one is we're making a big push here at the Miami Association of Realtors. We want everybody to sign up for the call to actions. So if everybody could take out your cell phone, since like 40% of you already have it out, that's already easy, and just text Realtor to 30644. That's going to send you 3 texts a year, 3 to 4 texts a year, and it's very pertinent to our industry. It's going to send you updates or call to actions on things like flood insurance, the federal flood insurance initiative that's going on right now. And all you have to do is sign a petition. And once you do it one time, it'll take you 3 minutes. Starbucks orders take longer than that. So while you're waiting in line, you'll be able to fill out that petition. So if you could text Realtor to 30644, that would be awesome. So got that out of the way, that public service announcement. First thing I want to do is thank our sponsors. They'll be here at halftime to talk to you guys a little bit and let you know who they are. Our sponsor, Peninsula Title. They'll be in here to tell you a little bit about themselves. We're going to get things kicked off with the legends. Let's get Enrique Terán up here. He's a broker owner of Avanti Realty. He's been at that for 20 years, growing his business and growing the company, empowering his agents with cutting-edge technology, multiple-time speaker at Inman Connect, and numerous awards recognizing his contribution to the industry. We have Esther Percal from EWM. She's a premier agent year over year. We won't say how many years in a row. 40 plus years. She said it. So I think that's the green light. Grew up in Miami Beach, works in Miami Beach. That gives her a little unique perspective on working the area. She's a staple in the area year to year. We have Willie Bermejo, CEO, BAP Development, real estate industry since the 70s, multiple awards in architecture, engineering within our marketplace. Just to give you guys a little heads up, he is, we brought him on this year to give a little bit of a different perspective, hopefully, from the developer side of things. And fun fact, you co-founded Calle Ocho? Yeah? Wow, Power 96 loves you. And then we have Nelson Gonzalez, also with EWM, Miami native, focusing on South Beach. Lot of quoted many times, respected publications such as the Miami Herald, Wall Street Journal, and Fox News. We'll forgive you for that one. Just kidding. All right, so the first question is pretty simple, pretty open-ended for you guys. Answer it as you see fit. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What is one of the things that people would be surprised to know about you? And what were you doing, if anything, before real estate? We'll start right here with Enrique. Yeah, please. Check it.
Check. Hello.
Check.
First off, I'd like to thank the YPN for inviting me to this great little event and panel. I'm very excited to be sharing some great insight in the real estate world and hoping that it resonates to you and things that you can use to your day-to-day. I was actually born and raised in Miami, Florida. Grew up in the real estate world because my parents had a business. So at a very young age, I was reconciling the accounts, doing the open houses. Not sure if I was much help, but doing them. And ultimately graduated with a management information systems degree. Got into the real estate career as a professional and really started challenging the quo of how things were done in the industry. Really looking at different ways to tackle the industry, different ways to do things. And I'm very passionate about developing technologies that really help agents excel in the business.
Thank you for inviting me. It was through your mom. He used to run around in our office when he was a little kid.
Right back at you. I just grew.
I always wanted to sell real estate, so although I was made to go to college and I graduated with a degree in speech therapy, I started working in a resale and rental office in Brickell Avenue, selling condos. And that was sort of the only place that had some decent condos back in the late 70s. And then I went to South Beach to sell South Point, where nobody ever thought anything would ever come of that South of Fifth neighborhood. And then I got into general real estate, and 40 some odd years later, I'm still here.
In 1975.
Press the button. Just push the button. Nope. Right on your.
1, 2. There we go.
Perfect.
In 1975, I moved back from Philadelphia to Miami. I started business, my practice of architecture. 1977, I became a junior partner in the firm that I own today. I bought that company in 1990. I sold 50% of it to my partner Louis Zahamil in 1992. Today we have a total of 18 partners. In the terms of real estate, in 1985, my very good friend and client, Manny Medina, asked me to join him in his board of directors at Terramark Realty. And we had a great run till 1999. In that year, Terramark did a reverse merger, became a publicly traded company in the tech field. And that year, I created BAP Development, BAP Realty, and BAP Property Management. And that firm, I ran that firm until 2012. We developed over 2,500 units in South Florida, a very nice project in the Dominican Republic. I never left architecture. I always added different layers to my business. In 1999, my son and I opened a restaurant here in Coral Gables called Amalfi. We had that for 5 years until we sold it in the year 2000. Together with Formula One driver and IndyCar racer Emerson Fittipaldi and a good friend of mine, Peter Yanowicz, we brought back street racing to downtown Miami. We brought the American Le Mans Series in 2000. We brought kart in 2001. And in 2002, I sold that business to kart. So we've had a very varied and interesting life. Right now, you know, like when you go to a football game and you see the players go like this and they go the 4, that means that in the fourth quarter. Well, I'm in the fourth quarter of my life right now, and which means the foot is on the pedal. We're going fast. We're trying to create value in our company. I'm 66 years old, and our goal is to double the size of our firm. Currently, we're the largest privately held A&E firm in South Florida. We have 150 employees and 5 offices. We will be billing by the end of this year $25 million. My goal is to double it. Nothing is forever, but I keep a very good sense of what is value, which I think and I want to share with the panel and all of you here today. Because for the longest time, throughout my career, I always looked and I thought value was that PFS, that personal financial statement, every year I'd have to file an update and give to banks, lenders, etc. So basically value being the possessions that you have. Not too long ago, I did one of these periodic tests that I'm sure some of you have to do or would do in your lifetime, and after you strip and they put this little robe on you and they say, put everything you have in this little plastic bag. It really makes you think about the things of value, because on the last day on earth, everything you have at that moment is going to be a little plastic bag. So, when you think about value and wealth that we all try to create, and, wealth really, you define it in three words, and, there has to be abundance. It's something that must have value to you, and there must be some possession. And what I learned in my years is that wealth that you accumulate is really not the things that you have, but it's what you give. So in closing, I hope all of you think about that, because a seed, whether it's your time, whether it's love, whether it's money, it's powerful only the moment that you give it. So with that,
Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me as well. Nelson Gonzalez. Born and raised in Miami as well. Had no idea that I wanted to get into real estate. Sort of got into real estate sort of as a mistake. But got into real estate, sold a house the first week, and I said, maybe I can do this. So you don't have to have a real estate background. You don't have to, be in real estate as a kid. You just have to have the passion for it. And after 25 plus years, the fire still burns. Every morning I look forward to going to work and putting deals together. So you got to have it in you. You got to love what you do. I tell my kids that the same thing. Success is not necessarily on the money you make and that sort of thing. It's being happy with what you do and being more than anything else passionate about what you do. So if you're not, there's a door.
So my first question, we're going to keep it with you, Nelson. We'll go back this way. And as everybody here, I'm sure knows, the industry is constantly changing. It feels sometimes day to day, not just year to year. So my question,
Hour
to hour, right? So real estate has changed, I'm sure, since you started. What do you see as the biggest differentiators, and how have you changed your business model and practices?
In any business, whether it's real estate or anything else, you have to sort of be a chameleon and roll with the changes. When I first started in real estate, there was no internet. Basically, there were no computers where you can look up houses with beautiful photos. All we had was these big fat MLS books with one single black and white photo that was about an inch by an inch. And so, I mean, the good thing about that was that the buyers had to go to realtors because, they had to get the information from them. Today, with the internet, there's so much information online. Everybody has the same information that you do at their fingertips, so you have to be one step ahead. You have to be smarter than them. I mean, the photos online are fantastic, and from in my personal business, I do great photography. I don't do a lot of videos. I don't do a lot of virtual tours because I need the buyer. I need the phone to ring so I can be in touch with the people directly. If you give too much information, the phone's never going to ring. They don't need you. They can just, call anybody and go and see the house and go from there. But the internet really was the game changer in this industry, in my opinion, because, again, by marketing-wise, digital marketing, everything has changed. Social media and that sort of thing. I mean, I don't totally understand this whole social media or who has time to look for real estate on Facebook or anything else, but apparently, you just got to hit every single avenue to see, what sticks and go from there. But I think, when I first started also to pick up clients, I did 1 million open houses a year, and I used to pick up clients left and right. But, you can do all those open houses, you can have, Bill Gates show up at your house, but unless you can identify him and ask the right questions and really get what they're looking for, you're going to lose them. So it's not about having the people come, because there is demand in Miami, and in my opinion, the whole world wants to be here. You just have to be able to identify the buyer, what they're looking for, ask the right questions, and of course, close the deal.
Can you speak a little bit also to the demands of the buyer? If anybody else wants to add to this, they can also. With the changing industry, I'm sure the demand of the buyer has really taken on a life of its own. If you wanted to speak to it.
Yeah, they just want information. They want information that they can't find on a computer or on the internet, and that's why, in my opinion, these brokers opens are extremely important. That knowledge of the market from the realtor standpoint. You have to be knowledgeable because they can look at pictures till they're blue in the face, but unless when you personally are there and you look at the house, you can absolutely describe it much better than what a picture does. So knowledge of the market, knowing what, personally, my thing is I'm a walking computer. I can go back 25 years and tell you what this house sold for, the square footage, the lot size, who bought it, and that sort of thing. So you just got to know the market. And again, going back to, the information that's online, everybody has the same information. So you need to be just one step ahead and a little bit smarter than the buyer. And if that's the case, they will be impressed by you and just take you as the expert.
I'd like to add to gravitate towards what Nelson is saying. I am a true believer that consumers today are coming very, very well informed. And it's our job as agents to be able to be ahead of that game. The question really ends up being, how do you make it easy for the agent to compile all the data, understand what's going on, what are the people seeing, so when they come to me, I'm really ahead and able to tell you exactly what it is you want to hear. And a lot of that is the interpretation of data, and this is where in our company we use technology to kind of help the agent with ease get to